Just a little background so you know. 24 years as a high school coach in California. By far the best ever. 4 years as a JC coach. I had a pretty good record at that time. You know, we went 133-11. It wasn't that bad. But by far, high school was the most fun. I had a little less than 2 years at Pepperdine. So I went 30 years as a head coach. Things didn't work out. Like Don said, you can get humbled pretty fast. Last year was my first year as an assistant coach from 30 years ago. A lot different when you're 18 inches. They always say when you go the 18 inches that way, it's a lot tougher. Well, for me, it was pretty tough going the other way. One of the things I did as a high school coach, I started in 1978. Absolutely went through a ton of clinics, went to listen to a lot of different people, but probably the best thing I did was in 1987, I wrote Bobby Knight and said, can I come out and watch you practice for a week? Now I know he didn't reply, but his secretary, whatever, said no problem. And from 1987 all the way till 2 years ago, every year, starting October 15th when I used to start, I would go out and watch a different coach for a whole week straight. If you really want to learn how coaches are, how good they are, what they do, because a lot of times you go to clinics, they'll talk a little bit about themselves, tell a few jokes, then they kind of tell you what they did 5 years ago. They don't really tell you what they're doing now because they try and keep it to themselves. One thing, when you go watch them practice, you see everything. And it was really amazing for me. Like I said, through that span, I got a chance to see 28 different head college coaches, and I learned an awful lot. It changed my way of thinking. Because when I started, Don talked about Garibaldi back in the Bay Area. I knew him, you know, he was from Santa Clara. Carol Williams was out there. Carol Williams was a big flex guy, and that's kind of the way I started. I would run flex. I'd call a play every time down the court, did this, did that. Down through the years, I moved down to Fresno, California, middle of the state, upper middle high school. I knew it was going to be a really good job because when I drove around the neighborhoods, I saw kids shooting baskets around. And that's kind of the area I wanted to be in, the area where I knew kids really wanted to do it. So when I took that job, they told me when I took it, we'll give you the resources to become as good as you want to become. And they were right. The only problem was we were upper middle and we didn't have a lot of black kids. Okay, and things went along. We did pretty well. We averaged 75% wins. But when it came to playoff time in the big games, we had a hard time beating the really good athletic teams. We did everything we could, but we just couldn't get past that hump. Played good hard defense, played traditional defense. You know, I was a man-to-man guy. I thought we were pretty well coached. I thought the kids gave everything they could, but we couldn't win. It was in California to win a state championship. Once you won your league, you had to win 7 games to get to the Southern State Championship. So the 8th game was to win was the Southern State Championship game. The 9th game was against the North. So to win the state, you had to win 9 games after you won your league. So you had to be pretty good. Okay. We got to that point, we were winning our league. We were winning 4, 5 games afterwards, but we couldn't get to 6, 7, or 8. Saul Patino, loved what he wanted to do. But to be honest with you, the guy that changed me probably one of the most was my high school football coach. I always loved watching different successful coaches. Didn't matter what sport it was. This guy won 38 straight games in a row in a pretty darn good football area. Okay, so I went out to see Coach Blankenship several times in the field, and one of the things he was really big on was conditioning. One of the big things he was really big on was wearing the other team down, both physically and mentally. Now, after every play, his team would sprint from wherever the play was, they get up, they sprint to the huddle, give the play, sprint right back. Okay, now some teams say, why don't you just go no huddle? I don't think they were smart enough. Okay, but that's what they did. But they went sprint, 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 sprint. Every play through the whole game, they did that. So what he told me is, is they would get anywhere from 15 to 20 more plays a game in, and they mentally, besides physically, try to wear that team down. So I figured out, how do I take that basketball-wise? Because I wanted to try and get our team to be a little bit better. So I said, okay, we worked on getting that ball out as fast as we could. And we got out as fast as we could. We got up the court as fast as we could. But what happened, we got better offensively doing that. But what did the other team do defensively? Or themselves offensively is what they did. We come down, we shoot 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. And then we have a shot clock in California. They would hold it for 30, 31, 32. So by the end of the game, we're on defense, 2/3 of the time. So I figured out, okay, now how can we up-tempo the game, not only offensively, but how do we up-tempo it defensively? And then I started figuring, okay, we're pressing. Start with the traditional 2-2-1. Kind of tweaked it, did this, did that. And then all of a sudden, a couple of things kind of clicked for us, and the press became very effective. And the reason it became effective, it was a little different from what other people did. They weren't used to it, but more than anything else, we wore people down both physically and mentally. I played point guard in college. I always felt the hardest thing as a point guard was bring the ball up against pressure the whole game. The other team just played half court, that was easy. I had time to catch my breath, know what I was going to do. But if I had to go against pressure the whole time, that was the one thing that always would wear me down. The full court press I'm going to show right now, I'm going to give it 5 bits and pieces. So I can try and break it down, make it a little bit easier for you. I gave names to each spot. I'm not the smartest person, so a lot of these names I made up, it's just names that made me feel comfortable I could remember. Okay? Let's get some of the offensive player on the ball right now, right here. First thing I did, and then let's get right there is perfect. First thing I did is I broke the court down into quarters. Okay, I broke into quarters vertical. Most of you have a volleyball court on your basketball court, most of you high school coaches. We did all the time. If you took that volleyball line, usually it's right about here. And on most of your courts, that volleyball line probably went through your key right about here. If you took that volleyball line from here to the sideline, that was 1 quarter. We called that an outside quarter. Outside quarter. From the volleyball line to the midline, and see, like our court had a white line going down, just like this yellow line. Made it really nice. This was an inside quarter. Inside quarter, outside quarter. Inside quarter right here, outside quarter over there. I wanted them to understand that whenever the ball was on the outside quarter, I didn't care where your man was, all 5 guys, gals, would be on that half of the court. That means if it's on this outside quarter, I don't care where your man was, everybody is going to be on the outside quarter, the inside quarter, and this side. Vice versa. If the ball's on the inside quarter, all 5 players are going to be on the inside quarters. I don't care if your man's on the outside quarter, all 5 are going to be on the inside quarter. This is really important when I start showing you about the defense. So when we talk about quarters, if the players hear me say quarters, right now they know that what they're doing is they're opening up a gap too big. They're hugging their man. You're going to hear a lot of ers. I'm going to tell you what a controller is. I'm going to tell you what a gapper, a teaser, a taker, and a reader. Those are all positions on the court. Okay? So we can understand that. So 1 is knowing your quarters. 2, the ball is here. Who's my controller? Nope, go back. That's not my controller. Because my controller would do what? Would they walk out or they would sprint out? Who's my controller? Go on back. And again, you know how you fix this? Okay, black. If that's not a sprint, up, back 5 times. Who's my controller? Yeah, that's usually the way things get. And I don't like wasting time, so we move them a lot faster that way. Okay, thank you. You did a great job. I like this. No, you stay here. You push it your tail. Okay, controller. Controller is the person on the ball. The controller controls the whole defense. Real simple. Number one, what the controller has to do not let her see the floor. What do I mean by that? Pressure, pressure, pressure. All kinds of pressure. If you get great pressure on the ball, watch. Ready? Ready? You ready? Pressure, 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 pressure. I want all over. Okay? I don't want this ball up here where they can get a chance, see it, throw it wherever they want. If you get great pressure, a lot of times that offensive player is going to pivot, and now they just took half the court away. That's what we want to do. So I want great pressure. Some coaches say ball, 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 stick, stick, stick. I like pressure, pressure, pressure. There's two S's in pressure. Sometimes when you say pressure, spit comes out. Gets in their eye, they can't see, you steal the ball. Okay, so I like pressure, pressure, pressure. And I want a ton of pressure on the ball. Okay, so you're going to put a ton of pressure on the ball. Okay? Now, one, don't let them see the floor with a good ton of pressure. Two, if you put a lot of pressure on the ball, what's going to happen? They have to do what? Dribble. Once they dribble, the defense starts. Okay? Pressure, pressure, pressure. Once they dribble, the defense starts. And all the controller has to do is by the time it gets from here to half court is give me one turn. If they give me one turn, they did their job. If they give you two turns, they did a heck of a job. If they give you no turns, they sit next to you. So it's really simple. It's not that complicated. They will get that turn. They will get those turns. That's all her job is. Now, some people say, well, are you going to force sideline? Are you going to force middle? I don't care. I don't care. You're talking about trust. Okay? You're talking about trust. If I'm going to ask the controller to put a ton of pressure on the ball, and I'm saying, hey, get the right foot up, force this way, I don't care. Just get into them. Just get into them. That's all you have to do. Okay? Let's see how you do it. Here we go. Ball. Okay, see what you do. Hold it. Do it again. I'm not kidding you. When she has the ball, I want to hear what? Pressure, pressure, pressure. Because I'm telling you what, half the people pee their pants when she say pressure, pressure, pressure. Okay, so get into them. You'll be surprised. Good, good. Okay, hold it, hold it. I like the pressure, but guess where she can be sitting? Did you get a turn? I love your smile, but that's not going to help you from sitting. Okay, here we go. Do it again. Come on, get into it. Good, good. Turn, good. One more turn. One more turn. Okay, freeze. Okay, but now, at least, what are we doing? We're getting the offense to do what? Go probably faster than they want to go. And most of you know, if you ever watch a ball handler, when they dribble, I'm going to tell you right now, if the person's a really good ball handler, when they dribble, the first dribble on a really good ball handler, where's their head? Down. On a really good ball handler. Very few are great and can take the dribble right away. 90% of people choose they dribble, that head goes down. The good ones, their head comes up on the first dribble, after the first dribble. The average ones, they don't come up until the start of the second, until almost that second dribble. And that's why you get charges, that's why you get them leaving their feet and everything else. So we want them to go faster than they want to go. Okay, and that's what we want to see. Now, to have confidence, for the controller to have confidence, obviously now their teammates come in hand. Okay, gaffer. Let's get my gaffers on this side. Well, I'm going to show you in a 2-2-1 these terms. And then once you understand the 2-2-1, you can run a hard diamond, soft diamond, 1-2-1, anything you want, man-to-man from the same terminology. Okay. Okay. Come up a little bit more. I'll give you a little bit more right there. Okay. Our controller, right? Next to our controller, we call a gaffer. we call gaffer. Again, I told you I'm not very smart. The gaffer can never get gap. That's why I call her the gaffer. The gaffer can never get gap. The gaffer will always turn into a trapper. Gaffer will turn to a trapper. A gaffer can never get gap. So, if my gaffer right here is over here, and there's a lot of pressure on the ball, and the dribbler goes middle, I am not mad at my controller. I am mad at my gaffer. The gaffer's got to shut that down. So if I saw this right now, what would I yell? Quarters! That's the magical word. Quarters! To your quarters. Okay, over here. Now let's say put another offensive player over there. Okay, again, I'm not worried about the ball going backwards. I'm not worried about that. And I'll explain why. Well, we have 10 seconds, 35-second shot clock, and so forth. You can't get gap. Gapper becomes a trapper. So now you try and beat it. I don't care which way. Which way? Oh, come back. My fault. I didn't do a good job of teaching. Do it again. Good job. The gapper will become a trapper. So you need to get over there. She goes that way, you're going to trap. She comes middle, you're going to trap. You tell me. I want to see it. Okay, ready? Whatever you want. Okay, good. Okay, good. Oh, nice, nice. We'll talk about how to handle traps, everything very nice. And that was all set up because who did their job? The controller did a heck of a job. It wasn't a straight line drive. Now, I will tell you this. This is 13 years of doing this. And I can tell you all the screw ups I had along the way. When I first did this, I had the gapper always come from behind. Okay? So what happened, pardon me, is that I got bam, bam, come from behind, come from behind, come from behind. The controller had to get a turn, but what happened if they kept going? Now we got two behind. I didn't like that. So when I went to junior college, they were a lot quicker, so I told the gapper to aim where? Aim for the high side. It's a lot easier going high if they get a turn coming low instead of going low trying to go high. So the gapper, when we got to junior college, actually went to the high side of this. Okay, again, here we go. Ready? Where's the ball? Freeze, freeze. Who's the gapper? Very good. Who's the controller? Pressure, pressure, pressure. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. You don't know who? Go. Hold it. Beautiful. I can live with that. I can live with that. Okay, here we go. Better, better, better. Here we go. Okay. And these are, what I'm doing right now, not only giving you positions, this is actually how we teach it. And we put everybody in these spots so they understand that. Where's the ball? Get over it. Get up. Good. Turn, turn. Good, 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 good. We'll talk about that later. Good. Okay, here we go. So, do we understand controller and gapper? Okay, again, gapper, what can you not have happen? Gapper cannot be gapped. I'm glad she helped you. Gapper cannot be gapped. Gapper will turn into a trapper. Okay, here's the tough one. Let's put one behind the controller. Hustle, my taker. I like that, I like that. Okay, taker. This is our taker. Let me explain what I mean by that. When I first used to press, when you would come down the sideline, my taker would come up, like Patino, blue, white, and all that. Well, I didn't have 6'8" guys here. Okay, I had slow white guys, they'd throw over, we'd be in trouble. And once we made this change, the press took off. The taker on any penetration down his or her side is going to sprint back and take away the pass down their side. That's their job. That is their job. Okay? Let me get another offensive player, say at half court. Here we go. Like that. Okay, now, again, I want to hear pressure, pressure, pressure. I don't care which way you force her, whichever way she goes, you guys put the deal on. Okay? Go. Okay, good, good, good. Hold on, hold on. Good, good. Freeze, freeze. Okay, freeze means stop. Now stop. Okay, give it back to her. Okay, nice job there. See, once you go down there, that takes away the easiest pass for people to see. We want them to turn their shoulders as much as possible. As much as possible. Okay, do it again. Here we go. You ready? Freeze! Who am I pissed off at? Who? The gapper. The gapper can't get gapped. That's their only responsibility, and then become a trapper. Okay, here we go. Yes?
Do you only gap when they start coming towards you, or when they start breaking away?
They go away, that's not a gap. The gapper will become a trapper. This will also happen. The old run and shoot, right? Come here. If I beat her quick, boom, and she comes and stops me, and I make the pass quick, who's going to take there?
Me.
Yeah, you would just continue. Or you would go to where? What do we call it? No. Go to our quarters. Go to our quarters. Now you don't get gapped. See? We make that. Now if it's a great trap, we stay in it. I'll explain the rest of that. Very good. Here we go. Ready? Okay. Let her beat you down the side. Then play. I know it's going to be tough. Okay, go. Okay, good. Hold it. That's beautiful. I'm going to tell you right now, when you do this, you can write me, call me, I'll give you all that stuff. You're going to say that darn taker is killing us. And it's going to happen because it's like a deer in headlights. They start coming, they freeze, and they start coming up. Okay? There's 2 terrible threes you don't want. There's 2 terrible threes you don't want. And that is 3, one of them is 3 on the ball. Okay, if that happens, I guarantee you're going to have trouble. I can live with 2 on the ball. That's what pressure is. That's what trapping is. 3 on the ball means your taker came up, and you're going to be in trouble. Okay, I'll give you the other one a little bit. Here we go. Ready? You don't know. Now, I like that. This one's good. This one is good. I like it. She's got that energy. She might be a controller. Okay, here's something that has really helped us through the years. And I'll say it a couple of times. If you ever watch, again, I coach high school. I coach my first graders all the way through 12th graders at my high school. You know and I know when the ball's here, and she takes it and throws it there, just like Lindsay did. What did she do in the past? Okay, which is normal. And one of the biggest drills that we do every day, we do it in a full court shell, we do it in a half court shell for 2 or 3 minutes every day. We try and teach them, if you can master this. I think good players will move on the pass. I think great players will move on the pivot and sprint on the pass. Okay? Good players will move on the pass. Great players, great defensive players will move on the pivot, sprint on the pass. Here's what I'm talking about. Okay? Right now, here's the gapper. Pivot that way. I'm over here. Okay? Oh, you're not. I'll take it for you. Okay, watch. If I pivot this way, okay, you're coming up. If I come here, now you're ready. You're moving. You're moving because, yeah, you can't be in that, you got to be able to, you can't let a straight line pass go. Okay, now watch, up front. If I'm here, where are you? Okay, if I turn and go this way, damn, she's good. She is really good. And that's what you want. Now, when I pivot, and I throw this pass, they're going to be 1 to 2 steps closer How many times in the game do you see that person misses a steal by that much? It's because they don't move on the pivot. They move on the pass. Okay, next. Let me have another half court. Give me another one out there. Defense and offense. Okay. Controller, gapper. Same size as gapper is our taker. Opposite of the controller is our reader. That is our reader. Very, very, very important. Usually your reader is going to be probably right here. Okay? Probably somebody who's tough, somebody who can really read. That would be your free safety in football that's got the guts to go for the steals and understand what you're doing. Okay, in a little bit I'll try and help you on who would play in what spot. Okay, here's what I mean by reader. If I take the ball right now, guard me, and I go right by, okay, what do you think the reader's got to do? Reader's going to go back and form the umbrella. And I'll talk about the defensive umbrella later on. Okay? She can't come up. Now, watch what happens here. This is real important. What happens if I split them right here? What's the reader got to do? This is where the reader can't be a what? Can't be a deer in headlights, because if the reader comes up, what's going to happen? Pass over. So again, she's got to understand, there's a split. I like to play cards. Okay? A lot of you play poker or a bad beat. If it's a bad beat, get back right away. The reader and the taker have to understand that and form the umbrella with the teaser. Okay? So the reader's got to understand, I can't have a reader that once these two get split, that she's going to freeze and not get back. I can't have a reader who understands that if they get bad beat right here, that she can't sprint back. She's got to understand that. Now the reader's got to understand this. This is real important. Okay, ball right here. Okay. Ideally, she's in good position right there. She's back further. I like my reader. Okay, remember we talked about quarters, right? You're still in the line of the ball. So where's the line of the ball? Where's your man? Okay, ball, man. Okay, is she in her quarters? No. So I actually want you right here. This is where I want you. Right there. I want her to cheat that much. And I'll explain why later. Taker, you've got to be back a little bit further as you're protecting back there. Okay, now, what happens if I come middle here, you jump me, you start to leak. Oh, what did I say I want about a reader? I want somebody that's aggressive, that's looking for the steal. I'll do that again. I was trying to make you be a hero. Okay. We're going to, excuse me, got a little bit of cold. I'm going to come middle. She leaks, throw that pass, bam, score, press back on. Okay, now, the reader has to understand that. She has to have the understanding that if they're going to leak, I'm going for that. Now, some teams are going to do this. Stay back. Right there. I go middle, stay there. I pass here, hold it. Do you have any chance for that? Okay, so now the reader will become a what? Taker. Everything is angles in this game. So now you were right here doing a great job. You see the middle, you see her there. I'm sprinting right back at the angle, coming right in at the angle. Bam. If there's a run and jump, there's that there, you're right to there. Perfect. So now, who's our reader? Our reader's right there. It's got to protect middle. Opposite long will be the teaser. I'll explain that. Do we understand that? Okay, because we take these same concepts even in the half court. Okay, bring it back. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to do the shell. I want to just work on footwork. When I say pass, 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 I want you guys to all move. Okay, all moving. I want happy feet. Everybody's moving at the same time. Okay, don't go anywhere. Pivot. Pivot. Good. Pivot. Go. Okay, remember I told you there's a lot of ers? There's two ers you don't want to be. One's a hugger and the other is a sniffer. Okay? The hugger is the one that stays right next to their person. Now there's times to hug. That's not a time. The time you want a hugger is when? Is when the ball's dribbled down your side. See, think about it. Offensively, you want to break that press by opening up the middle, right? Well, go back. Show me what you're doing. Get back in there. Bam, get on over. See, now we shut that middle down pretty well. And it's all keyed on what? It starts with what? Starts with who? It starts with the controller with pressure, or just forget it. Okay, or forget it. So you teed up. Remember, probably a little bit ago. Okay, see where she is right now? Now you're going to respect that. Come this way. Come on over now. Slide over. Slide over. There you go. Come back. Okay, good. Slide over up a little bit in here. Beautiful. Now pass. How do we sprint? Everything's angles. Zig, zag, over. Pass. Sprint. Good. Pass. Good. I like that. Whatever way you want. Doesn't matter to me. Now, when I say live, you guys go. Okay, here we go. Okay, ready? Pass! No, pass. They can't steal a pass. Get over here. Pass! Live! Freeze! Not bad, but we got huggers. This press, we want to steal the ball. I'm greedy. I like this. Don't worry about that, because who's going to protect you back there? The teaser's going to help you. Okay? And you know what? Make them throw that pass. Cheat more. Okay, ready? Here we go. Yeah. You were fine. I would have stayed in the trap, but now it's fine. Pressure that poop out. I want to hear pressure. Pass! Hold it. Okay. Do we have the clock for 10 seconds ready to run them? I'm just kidding, but I'm going to run them if I don't hear what? No, not pressure. Pressure. Go. Get into it. Pressure. Go. Live. Jumper.
Yeah,
Oh, that's typical, right? Now what's she doing? 1, 2. She's counting her points. Get your butts back on defense. Okay, go. Get into it. Good. Go. Live. Okay. Good. Get over. Freeze. So from the bench, I'd be yelling, corners! Which means get you know what, over. Not bad, though, for the first time learning it. Not bad. Okay? Again, you know what? Take one. You down deep? Go. Another pretty smile. Don't worry about her. I don't even care. But you're going to be able to get that. Okay? I want a lot of pressure. Once I say go, you can go with it. Okay? You can't steal the pass until I say go. Okay, get it to her.
Pressure.
Good. Pass! Go! Get over. Freeze! Okay. Stay there. Now you tell me right now, are you a taker or a hugger? A hugger. Okay. We don't want huggers in this game. Okay, she did a great job. Her person get the ball, but where did this person originally start going? She started going this way, and she was worried about her man. Don't worry about your man. Don't worry about that. Okay, you guys have done a good job. Step off. Questions so far about any of those 4 spots? Then I'll go to the next one. Controller, gaffer. Same side of controller is the taker. Taker must take away all passes down that side. Okay? Reader is real important. Now, another little thing I've done about the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I never started my 5 best players. In high school, when we had my really good teams, and again, when I say really good, gang, I coached high school for 24 years. I had 3 guys go Division I in 24 years out of high school, 3 guys. Most of the teams we played in a tournament, state tournament, would have 5, 6, 7, 8 guys on one team. We had 3, okay? I didn't really have great players, but I had great kids. I had great kids that would do whatever you asked them to do. They were fantastic. They bust their you-know-what for you. Now, what you got to understand in this is the pressure is going to do everything. The reason I didn't start my 5 best, what do all 5 want to do? Score, shoot. Okay? So, if you're going to press and you're going to run, you know you're going to sub. So if I start my 5 best, all of a sudden I sub 3 in for them. Now I only got 2 of my 5 best. I always wanted 3 of my 5 best on the floor at all times. I always wanted 3 of my 5 best. I always wanted to end the game with my 5 best. I didn't care about starting the game. Now sometimes you're going to say, well, what about that kid? How's he going to feel? Or more importantly, how's his parents going to feel? And that's what happens, right? I tell you what you do. And it happened to me. I had a kid that said, Coach, I'm one of the 5 best. I want to start. I said, Brian, okay, I'm going to let you start. So where did I put Brian on defense? I put Brian as the controller. And as the controller, when you're pressing the ball, what most likely is going to happen more often? Foul. He had 2 fouls in 46 seconds. He sat the rest of the half. Okay, after the game, he said, Coach, I don't mind coming off the bench. Okay? So you can dictate it, you can set it whatever way you want. But everybody in high school, and I had them, you got either a guy or girl who's going to go through the wall for you. Give you everything they got, but the poor kid can't shoot a lick. Okay? Can't shoot, probably can't dribble. But you love the heck out of them because if it's a loose ball, it's theirs. Charge, it's theirs. They're going to fight and scrap. That's my controller. Okay? If I start, let's say my 1st, my 3rd, my 5th best, and maybe I might start my 6th and my 8th best players, because what does 6 and 8 do when they don't start? If 6 and 8 want to start, what do you think they're not going to do? They're not going to shoot unless it's a what? Unless it's a layup. Because if 6 and 8 want to say, Coach, I'm going to shoot, I'm going to score, guess where they're going to be? Right next to me. 6 and 8 are smart enough. They start understanding their role. They play more when they play defense and they hustle. Let 1 and 3 and 5 shoot. Okay, 6 and 8, you bust your ass and play defense. Okay, now you come back in. Now I may take 3, 6 and 8 out. Here comes 2, 4, and 7. What have I lost? I still got about the same type of team, if not as good. What have I done to the other team? See, we always, in high school, the first 28 minutes, I wanted to wear the other team down. That was the only thing I wanted to do was wear them down mentally and physically. In college, it was the first 35 minutes. I wanted to wear them down. The last 4 minutes in high school, go for the win with my best players. The last 5 minutes in college, I wanted to wear them down. And the guys knew that. In high school, my kids knew in non-league, I would play 11 guys every, excuse me, I would play 11 players every non-league game. They knew it. Game league, I promised I would play 10. Game playoffs, I didn't promise anything. We wanted to win. Okay? But we normally, I'm not kidding you, in non-league, if I didn't get 12 or 13 in the first half, it would be a surprise. Okay? But believe me, I wasn't stupid. My best players played the most. Okay? If it was a big game, my best players are going to play 28, maybe 28 and a half minutes out of the 32 in high school. I knew how to sub it that way. Because my guys, the way we practice, they just needed a 30-second breather. They were right back in. Go hard, 30 seconds out, back in. So we did that. Okay, the last spot is the teaser. Very important. Very, very important. Okay? The reason I call the teaser is I wanted the teaser to tease the other person to throw the pass so they could pick it off. I don't I don't want a person who's just going to let passes go. I want somebody aggressive that's going to go for steals. Example. First name. What? Lindsay? I thought there's another Lindsay. Can only be one. Okay. Lindsay, be the teaser. Lindsay, you be an offense all the way down. Okay. Who's got the best arm here? Best arm. Okay, take it out. First name. Elaine. Okay. Blonde Lindsay, right underneath the bucket. Right underneath the bucket. Okay, I'll say it again. Right underneath the bucket. There you go. That's where we would like them to be. Okay, Lindsay, you're my teaser, right? You good? Okay. Now, if that was my teaser, they'd be sitting right next to you right now. Put the ball here. Good. Okay. She can play there. Okay, now where's the ball right now? Okay, in this defense, I want the taker, I want the reader, and I want the teaser more than anything else is to read the inbounder's eyes. I want them to read the inbounder's eyes. You know coming, ball please. You know coming down the court, how many times do you see guards come down the court, not look, make this pass? Have you ever seen an inbounder make a no-look pass? Just tell me, have you ever seen anybody inbound the ball against pressure with a no-look pass? I've yet to see it. I've only been coaching 32 years, so I haven't done that many years. I'm not close to done yet, okay? So, watch her eyes. Put the ball back down. Ball's down low. Okay, cock it. Now you got to respect it a little bit. Okay, now you're respecting that. See, look at Elaine. I like, no, I like that. Oh, shit. Okay, here we go. Coach, good luck next year. That's your best arm? Okay. Go ahead, Elaine. But I'm going to tell you what. Let me say this. I seen that happen, right? And go ahead, go back and guard her. And that's where I see people against press. They're all the way back there. They match up. There's no way in the world, even on the guy's side. Guys, I have my teaser on the guys right here when the ball is taken out of bounds. When they cock it, they might go to here, and that's it. Okay? I want them to tease so the last second I can run, push it out of bounds, push it in their face, get it out of bounds. You know and I know, how long are they going to look at the wrong person? Maybe a count of 1,001, 1,002. That's it. After 2 seconds, what are they doing? They're going short. They're looking short. Now we want to teaser up even more. Teaser always has long and opposite diagonal. Long and opposite diagonal. Those are the two spots that teaser has. Okay, let me give you one more chance.
I've been lifting.
Okay, ready? Here's the referee. Up there. Up more. I like that. You can turn so you can see your person too. Good. I like that because right now, what does this inbounder think they have? That's right. Okay, here we go. Take control. That's better. Okay, no problem. And what would the, okay, now, you got to understand this. Did you see the way she turned? She was here, then she turned here, then she turned back this way. We got to work on that, and we do that. As a coach, if they scored on that, what do you think I'm going to say? No. Go! Forget about it. Done, over with. Let's go. If you want to have an up-tempo offense and defense, if you're going to worry, like Don said, if you're worried about one possession, you're going to be in trouble. You don't want to put that fear in them. You want them to be aggressive. You want them to be aggressive. Now, it happens the second time, we're going to talk to one another next to me. But it's not going to happen again. Okay, at least get a hand on it. Referee, go. Good, okay. But now, if we practice this, right, Lindsay would be a lot better. She might look at the ball coming. But that's practice. That's okay, Lindsay. We're just learning. Do we understand about teaser now? And I'm telling you what, now you put the teaser there, they have to adjust. Now, Lindsay, the ball's here. Okay. Give me it. Come on right here. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Good, 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 good. Okay, again. 2 out of 4 times turnover. Here we go. And I like that. Now, Lindsay, watch this. Pressure, 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 pressure. Okay, hold. Once the pressure came on, what should Lindsay do? Cheat up more. Okay, something happened where there wasn't much pressure. For example, if the hands were down here, that means the controls let them see the floor, then you got to respect that a little bit more if they cock it. Okay, right now you would be yelling pressure, 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 telling it because you see everything. You're telling your controller, get pressure, pressure, pressure. Okay, give me the 5 out here again. Here we go. 5 offense, 5 defense.
Oh wait, why am I putting your hand out?
Okay, we'll see how we do it. Real quick. Position. Tell everybody. Nice. What are you?
I'm control, pressure, control.
Controller. No. Number 1. What do you got to do?
Pressure,
Pressure, pressure, pressure. 2.
pressure, pressure, pressure.
Do not let them. Do not let them see the
What? No, that's just what?
your blonde.
Hey!
Okay. 3. 3. What do you got to make them do? Put it on the ground
On the floor and turn them.
and get 1 turn. Get 1 turn. Okay. Name.
Gaffer.
Gaffer. Gaffer cannot get. Hell damn.
Yeah.
Gaffer cannot get gap. Gaffer will turn into a trapper. Taker. Taker. What is the taker going to do when they come down your side?
That pass.
Take that pass away. Do not let them throw over the top. Taker will always turn into a what when the ball gets reversed? Taker turns to a reader. Very good. Reader. Oh my God. Readers got a lot of responsibility. They have to learn how to read each responsibility. Bad beat, what are you going to do? Bad beat, what are you going to do? Go back, and I'll talk about the umbrella in a little bit. Okay, very good. If they leak out, you're going to look for what? Steal. If they get reversed and you can't get it, reader becomes a taker. Beautiful. Teaser, just get everything. Just get everything. Easy enough. Let's see what it looks like for a little bit. Okay, ready? Freeze! Yeah. Yeah. No problem. Again, when you teach this, give them all the confidence in the world to get beat. I would rather see that than the retreat. Okay? Go for the steals. Go for the steals. Be aggressive. Yes. Excuse me, I got body a little bit close. Great term to write down. It's a very, very good term. It didn't take me long to come up with it. See it and fix it. See it and fix it. When you're coaching this, each player's going to say, Coach, what should I have done? Coach, where should I have been? See it and fix it. See it and fix it. Common sense will tell you where to go. I'm going to tell you right now, early in the year, God's honest truth, if we were in the right spots 20% of the time, we were doing a heck of a job. Thank you. If we're in our right spots 20% of the time, we're doing a heck of a job. As long as we're doing what? Pressure and working our tails off. You get away with an awful lot if you play your you-know-what off. By the end of the year, we get to the 35 to 40% being in the right spots. You've done a heck of a job teaching it. So it means half the time, over half the time, everybody's, half the people are in the wrong spots. You can get away with that as long as you put a ton of pressure on the ball. We never want to see what type of pass given. Never a straight line pass. If there's ever a straight line pass, the person who's guarding that, the controller who's on that, is the person who's screwed up. We always want to see lob passes. Okay? Let's be aggressive, ladies. Be aggressive. Here's the ball. Here's the ball. Jam up. The ball's in the middle, so everybody's in the middle quarter. Now, you should be kind of in a straight line. There you go. Kind of over a little bit more. Good, good. We're all moving. Get over pressure, pressure. Good, good. Good, good. Good, good. Good, good. Stay in it, stay in it. Freeze! Not too bad at freezing. Even when we go from full court to half court, mark my words, if you get in your quarters, you will be fine. That's another day, and everything else. Hustle on back, please. We said there's 2 turbo threes you don't want. One was what? 3 on the ball. The other is 3 behind the ball. They will get you in trouble. 3 on the ball, 3 behind the ball. We break the court up into quarters, right? Well, I actually break them up into different zones this way too. Here we call this, from here up, remember the old hash marks we used to have? We call this area the pressure zone. The pressure zone. We want a ton of pressure. When I started running this, because I was such a pressure guy, what happened is when this person, let me take this back. Say this person came up and flashed and got the ball here. 2 were behind, come up, pressure the heck out of me. Now I went by here, now what happened? You'd be in that turbo 3. You don't want 3 behind the ball. When I first did it for a couple of years, that's what we did. So we converted and we changed to, we call this the cushion zone. In this middle quadrant here, we call it from the hash line to hash line. If they ever catch it in here, what I'd like to see you do, come on, go take it, is don't pressure the heck out of it. Now play a little cat and mouse game. Back here. Play a little bit back and forth. Just a bit time for what? That's the beauty of this press, is now you're going to get more steals from behind. And you got to teach them that. Let's say we had 1 on the ball here. Go ahead. Okay, freeze. Now let's say, go back. Let's say you go back. Flash. Pass. Okay, give her up. Okay, freeze. Now, understand now. It's in the cushion. We're going to play a little cat and mouse. What makes sense for Lindsay right here to do? See, a lot of people will run back and do what? Protect middle. This is, I love, anytime it goes vertical, we go trap to trap. We go vertical trap. So you now are going to sprint back into the next. You're baiting. Even if she starts dribbling, you do what you can to slow her down. You're going to trap there. Now, it got into that cushion zone. So now, what's the reader got to do? Uh-oh, trouble. Anytime it gets in this zone, I got to go back and protect. You're going over in case there's somebody down the side. The 2 of us here. What's my last person going to do? This is our see it and fix it. They have to be in their quarters, get to their quarters. Let's say you start to dribble. Bam, bam. The rest of you guys hold it. Keep on going, keep on going. Keep on, break, keep on going. Keep on going. Go on to the corner. Go on to the corner. Freeze, freeze, freeze. Okay, we teach this person so many times to run where? Right back to the key and protect. See it and fix it. Uh-oh, I'm running back. I see a good trap coming. Pivot, pivot the other way. I'm going to come back up looking for this right here. Okay, instead of running back. Now, if they made a quick pass there, I said see it and fix it, what do I got to do? I got to sprint all the way back. Okay, bring it on back. Yeah. I'm dead.
And that trap right there, down lane,
That's right.
which one of those
Okay.
two ran off?
Very good question. Which one of those two, if that pass went down straight again, would go for the next trap? The one that gets there the fastest. Okay? The other one's going to see it and fix it. Now, if one of them's on a run because they came up, they're just like the old run and jump. They're going to go. They're going to go. I don't care if it goes trap to trap to trap. If it's vertical, we stay with it. If it gets reverse, now we're back into our quarters. We're not going to trap sideways. We're not going to, now, because all they're going to do is have you chase, chase, chase. Whichever one gets there first. Okay, again, now, it would make sense, though. Let me just show you here. Bam, let's say it's the two of us right here. We're pressuring, throw the ball, bam, there. She turns, she goes, bam, bam, I'm going right to here. Okay, come back to here. Let's say we got the good trap here. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Ball goes this way. Boom, I'm going here. Where are you going? You're going right back to your quarters. I would come to here. Guaranteed, they pick it up. They know exactly where. Again, see it and fix it. See it and fix it. Okay? Where you're going to get it is those punch outs coming from behind. We want the vertical traps. Okay, here we go. See how we do it. See if we can get to the vertical. If it goes vertical, see if we do it. We never behind the ball. Pressure, pressure. Go, go, go. Freeze! Perfect, perfect, perfect. Come here, come here. Come back, come back, come back. What did we just have? We added a turbo 3 there. Did you see that? They were here. That's okay, Elaine. I like that. I'm not, don't believe me. Not a problem. Pass came to here, right? Who got it up here? Oh, okay, you got it here. One foot, missed it, bam. There's your turbo 3, 3 behind. What's the other two got to do? That's called the umbrella zone. Pressure, cushion, umbrella. They got to go back. They have to go back and protect back there. Most of you, when you have your players go back, how do you have them go back? I'll guarantee you, and this is something that's different too. Let me just show you a little, I think it's, again, something that we created. Go 3-on-2 for me, girls. Get 3 blacks, hit me 2 grays on defense here. No, right here. 2 grays on defense, 3 blacks on offense. Show me your 3-on-2. And I'll explain where I'm getting from here. No, half court. Come in half court. Coming down half court, 3-on-2 drill. 3-on-2 drill. Okay, freeze. Okay. See, most of you keep your girls 1 high, 1 low in tandem, right? I would say most of you do. We don't play defense 3-on-2 that way. When we do our full court 3-on-2 scramble drill, anything 3-on-2, we bring them both sideways and up, because I want them at what? I want them to cheat. See, if you go down there, you go down here, right now, what can Elaine do? Hopefully she doesn't dribble, but what would she do? Easy pass straight up. See, I don't want that. When that ball's back here, now go sideways, now go tandem. See, we don't know, do you? Uh-oh, you didn't even play it. Who's the better shooter? If that's the better shooter, you're going to be there, you're going to play both. If that's a non-shooter, let her go. And we, just like Don said before the game, they know who's the shooter, who's the non-shooter. Okay? We always went stick, shade, or just leave alone. Okay? Stick meant that person was a great shooter. We were never going to leave that person alone. Shade meant a pretty good shooter. We would stunt on any time on penetration. We wouldn't give it up. Leave her alone, leave him alone. Let him shoot any time. Let him shoot any time. Okay. Do it again. Questions on this so far? Keith, how much time I have? Am I done? Whatever you want. 10 minutes, beautiful. Questions? Yes, Coach. Okay, I knew somebody was going to say that. What do we do before the ball's inbounded. Keith, is it both offense tomorrow? Both sessions offense? Okay, I better handle that then. I was going to get to a little bit, I wanted to just show you a couple of drills, but you kind of get the gist of it. Let me tell you real quick what we do. Take it out, please. Okay, great. And I tell you what, when I had the kid named, you don't know who he is, I had a guard when we had a pretty good team. Obviously, good players will make you a good team. My second to last year at Clovis West, my 12th year there, it was my 12th year at Clovis West. See, the nice thing, the reason I like that Clovis West High School in Fresno, it was a K through 12 program. I was in charge of I had 7 K through 6 schools that fed one junior high, 7th and 8th grade that fed 1 high school. I was in charge of those 7 elementaries, that 1 junior high, and so forth. I had programs with my younger kids almost every day of the week. My wife would testify. I got to school at 6:15 every morning because those that wanted to get better, we shot from 6:30 to 7:30 every morning. My first year of coaching, we went 5-16. I was 22 years old, head coach. They thought it was great because the school was 1-41 the 2 years before I got there. They never had a winning season in the last 25 years. At the end of that 5-16 year, I was bald. Okay? Gone, dead, out. Everything was left. So I told my kids at that point, whoever wants to get better, I'll take you 6:30 every morning. Let's get shooting. I want to make it fun for them. I want them to be in there early so they would enjoy it. I had 2 kids that came in the springtime. One of those kids still stays in touch with me to this day. Okay? When I was at Clovis West, I would say by year 5 at Clovis West, if I did not have 30 to 35 kids in that gym every morning, it was a bad morning. Okay? 30 to 35. Sometimes we've had 40, 41 kids in the gym every morning. Now imagine getting to that gym at 6:30 and you got 30 kids in there shooting. Imagine 4 years in high school where you're shooting for an extra hour every day. How much better are you going to get? How much better are you going to believe? Every Monday night in the preseason and after the season, I had a junior high camp. Actually, it was my 6th, 7th, 8th grade, my kids that were in junior high and going into junior high. Every Tuesday and Thursday night from 7 to 9, I had my 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders in my AAU program playing every Tuesday and Thursday night. Some years we'd have 2 or 3 teams of each. Okay, Wednesday night was our open night gym for the high school kids. So Monday through Thursday, I got home between 9:30, 9:45 each night. This is in the off season. Year 12 at Clovis West, 18 kids were on my varsity team. 17 of them I had since 1st grade. Imagine that. Those of you who coach high school, you know what I'm talking about. 17 of my 18 kids on my varsity I had since 1st grade. The 18th kid came in 7th grade. So those kids knew exactly what we wanted. They knew the terminology. They knew what they're going to do. That year we started 5'10", 6'2", 6'2", 6'2", 6'4". We got to 8th in the country. We weren't super athletic, but we were super tough. They could shoot and they were smart. And this defense screwed up people. It screwed up people. At that point, I had the so-called dribble drive offense in, but it was a horrible version of it. Okay? If I was a lot smarter, I'll explain tomorrow what I'm talking about that. But the defense screwed people up. The combination of the defense and the offense really took people. To answer your question, Coach, let's have one person up. Because what I was going to get to, we broke a press when I had that kid, Chris Hernandez, who was a 3-time All-Pac-10 player at Stanford. I only had 1 guard up. I let Chris break it himself against a 2-2-1. Didn't matter to me. He was that good. Okay? So if we had 1 up, we would front back, deny the heck out of it. Deny. One's got front, one's got back. Okay? The front is right into it. The back is 3 feet off, so she makes any move. We would deny and try and get a 5 count. Now, if they got 2 up here, we know they're probably going to flash them, so we would come with them. Once they inbound, we get to our quarters and we go. Bring 2 up. Bring 2 up. Okay, now they got 2 up. Okay, back there, back there. Ball is taken out of bounds. We don't call them controller or gapper yet because the ball's not on the court. We call this strong and weak. Strong and weak. Still the teaser, still the taker. You can't let anything over half court is not yours. Okay, anything over half court. You can even cheat up a little bit more right there. Since there's nobody there, I like that. Elaine, great job. Okay, now what we did with these 2, I let the guys do what they wanted early. But usually we would side front here, make it really tough where they would go to the corner. Okay, go to the corner, and if they got a good pass, great, we're there. Strong was easy. Weak had to be the smart person. Weak had to be smart. They take the ball out of bounds. What a lot of teams wanted to do is space us out and go to the corner, go to the corner. So they would go here, and this is what weak would do. But what rule did I just screw up? Quarters. So if I do my quarters right, I go right to here. This is where I want to be, right here. Because what's another defender for me? This backboard's another defender. Okay? So look real quick. If I'm here, you're not doing it. How long do you think she's going to look at it? Probably a 2 count. Okay, start to go. Now I'm coming back to here. Now whose area is she going into? Into the reader. Okay? We had to have the responsibility of getting back to what person? The inbounder. The inbounder. So if it went there, weak, going back there. Here's weak. Go to that corner. Bam, right there. Here comes weak. Real quick, right back over to here. Not to let this pass go. Go down the side. Bam. Take. I sprint. We get right into it. We get right into it. Okay, bring it on back. If I wanted to up-tempo the game, and they had 2, and they left 1 all the way back, then I would say, let's go hard, front it, deny it. Now you guys are going to perfect. There's nobody on your side, so you get to cheat, be aware of that person, and we would just change our press that way. Okay, now, what's the next thing you got to worry about is, who is this person? If this is a point guard, which a lot of teams did, we've got to make sure weak does what right away? Get back to here. If it was a big person, we knew we would go, we have different colors, I don't have time to get into it. We would go to blue. Blue like glue. Stick like glue. Stick, stick. Let's say it went to there. Give it. Bam. Okay, hold it. Person's over there. Pass back to the big. Match up. Nope, now we would stick like glue. This is the big. How many have told your big never to do what? Don't dribble. So now, either the reader or the taker, depending on what side the other person's on, deny, would come up, and we would make this person bring it up on their own. We never doubled bigs. Again, I was not very smart. When I first did it, we doubled everything. Then I realized my 5'7" point guard came up to double the 6'6" big guy, and he was non-existent. I would say 95% of bigs, once they get turned, what do they do? Pick it up. I'm going to tell you right now. 95% of big guys aren't going to dribble more than 2 times. So we do that. Okay, bring 3 up now. Bring 3 up. Bring 3 up. Okay, how are we going to handle it? See the girl, I want to see if these girls are smart enough. What's the one area we don't want the ball in? Middle of the court. Okay? So if they brought 3 up, One, we don't ever want to, if we're like this against 3, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to dive somebody, they're going to flash, they're going to get them on the run. We don't want that. Okay? So go back. Go that side. Come on over to here. Come on over to here. Usually, who do they put over there? 9 out of 10 times, who's that person? Big, decoy, And if it's not, we'll change from there. Cheat on up a little bit there, back a little bit, right there, you're good. What we like to have them do is stay in the middle right there, good. Let them go to the corner and get it, and then adjust. Go, boom, no, hold it. Where do we go? Freeze, freeze, freeze. Where would you go? This is the guard. Show me. Go. All the way up, don't let it go back. Good. Reader, pressure the heck out of it. Reader, where are you right now? See, now one can guard the two, and we're fine. That doesn't bother me. Let me tell you this. Early in the game, coaches would work against us. And they get their players in the right spots, and they break it early. Then what happens? Two things are going to happen. What are they? Fatigue. They get tired, so they don't get spaced out as far. Two, the other coach has got to do what? Sub. And you know those backup point guards or those backup bigs, they heard, God dang, here comes that press, and they're peeing their pants. And that's what we want to do. We wanted to work on that. It never bothered me if the other team had off 6, 8 points in a row. I knew our streak was going to come. I had faith in it. They had faith in it. We did it all the time. Same thing, if they brought 4 up, we wanted to get it to the corner. Let it go, then we would adjust and go from there. Okay? Other questions? Easy enough? Coach? How does it transition in a half? A lot of it stays the same. Remember, if it's a vertical pass, what's going to always happen? Trap. If it goes sideways, now we're going to man up. Okay, we're going to man up, and we always have to be in what? We have to be in our quarters. Now in our half court, we don't let straight line passes go. We never let a pass go from guard to wing. I'd rather get beat back door. I tell our guys, we get beat back door. There's a lot, it's about another 5 hours of talking. High side, to your quarters, we pin, we trap off of the dribble. Anytime there's middle penetration from the wing, anytime there's middle penetration on a 2-guard front, anytime there's baseline penetration, we trap that. So they will dribble into traps again. The key again is pressure. We changed the name of the controller. We call the controller a container because now we're going to pressure, but we can't go as crazy because we don't want them to go one dribble and turn because we're not as close. But there's a lot of other things, but that's kind of just. Other questions? Yes, Coach. The 2 turbo threes, 3 on the ball or 3 behind the ball. Okay? The umbrella back there. You would always like to see a 3-man umbrella. It will happen, somebody comes up where it's a 2-man umbrella. Again, when you form the umbrella, don't make it a straight line, fan out. So they can't do what? Pass it up. We want them to go dribble, dribble, dribble. I'll do one last thing, and then I'll end it. This is why we do it. Right here. I do this drill. Girls, you're good. Go ahead, sit on down. You guys are great. Give the girls a hand, please. They were great. Come on, Lindsay. First day I teach the teaser how far they should be. I do that. This is the other drill I do every time, the first time. I want you here. I want you in the baseline. Okay, I want to say go, and you're going to sprint your tail, score. You're going to sprint, try and block it. Don't hurt her, but try and block it. Okay, but just yell, scream, act like you're going to wipe her out. Go! Get it. Okay, good. Hustle back. Come on, hustle. Okay, do it again. Okay, do it again. Ready? Wait. I didn't say go. Cheater. Go! Get her. Come on. Push her. Good. Hustle back. See, they're smiling now. Now watch. Okay. Ready? Go! Get her. Hustle back. Look at that hustle now. What I'm trying to get across to you, this is what you got to understand on this defense. And I can't tell how many times some coaches would say, God, you really screwed this up. and it will happen to you. I would rather get beat with this. She's tired.
No, I'm not.
You're not? Okay, ready?
We got up early this morning.
I know. Did your coach ever tell you what NE stands for?
What?
Did coach ever tell you what NE stands for? Maybe tomorrow he'll tell you. Okay. What I want them to understand, and I tell my players the same thing, is I want to get beat off the dribble. And I know it sounds crazy. What kills you against press is when they take one dribble and they pass over you. You get this person to try and beat this pressure like that, even having a lead the whole time, I guarantee you, by the start of the fourth quarter, she's not smiling anymore. I got up at 6:30, my boyfriend didn't like me, all that other stuff's gonna take effect. Okay? Make them beat you on the dribble. There's times we form the umbrella so when they beat us on a bad beat and we go back, I want to see dribble, 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 because what's the guys behind supposed to do? They're supposed to come from behind them. We call punch out, knock it from behind. But no matter what do we do when they go dribble, 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 dribble? They're getting tired. If it goes dribble pass, we're getting tired. So just understand that the whole defense is predicated on them dribbling, dribbling, dribbling. Okay. Good enough? Thank you.
Divided up our time. What we've spent a lot of time on the defensive side of the ball is guarding the ball, guarding the first bounce, closing out on the ball, and where our hand is going to be in relationship to the ball, and then absorbing the first two steps of the handler. That's what we've really been spending time on. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how we go about doing that. The first thing we try to do, and I have a handout out there that's on defensive communication. And we try every day to give them a thought on communication. And I think that handout's very good. What we do is we give them a thought every day. We do it for 5 days, and then the last day, they get the handout. We also take the same thing with what's our defense stand for? What do we not want to have happen? Our number one thing is no layups. When I watch tape and I see teams give up layups, I think it's very, very difficult to win competitive games if you give up layups. In fact, Coach Fernung's here. And, you know, I was watching the Rushville game, and I told him, I said, you guys pressed all year, and the region, or what was that, sectional championship, or it was 80-77 in the game, and both teams were pressing and giving up layups. Okay, and so if you rated the quality of the shots during the course of the game, they were pretty good shots. In fact, Coach Kirby, who is our associate head coach and one of the winningest high school coaches in girls basketball in the state of Indiana, I could see his face disturbed by the number of layups that were being given. And they were giving good pressure, they were working hard, but they were extending the floor, opening up opportunities for layups. Well, what happens is, when you play teams that don't handle the ball well, you sometimes get a false sense of where you're at. And that's been our philosophy. One of the reasons I like this clinic is you can have lots of different philosophies. Coach Walberg's way is not Valpo's way, but I think he is a great teacher, and I think there's elements in his vocabulary that I really like, and there's parts of his dribble drive that I really like for us. And I think that's what you got to do as a clinic. Coach Meyer says it all right. You can take the ideas, but don't use all the ideas because they'll mess you up. Okay, figure out what you want to take from a clinic, and then make sure that whatever you add, you subtract something. So the things that we try to really emphasize is no layups. So when we played Florida State, who, when we warmed up against Florida State, who won the ACC last year, no layups is our number one thing. So I'm thinking on the tip, they're 6'6", and their 6'6" kid had arms and a wingspan that was probably 8 inches longer than our 6'6" girl. And I quickly came to the conclusion, we are not going to win the tip. And she might be capable of dunking it off a tip play. So we don't want that to happen. That would be negative energy. So we sent everybody back on the tip. We had our point guard jump center, and we were back, and we were going to protect the paint the first time. During that whole course of the game, we sent 4 people back. We had 4 people back the entire game because we do not want to give up layups. We don't want to give layups up. Coach Walberg, one of the things he says is, what is the highest way of scoring? The highest way of scoring is free throws. Most teams will shoot 70% from the line, so that means if they get fouled, go to the line, that's 1.4 points per possession. Anything over 1 is going to win you games. The second highest way of scoring is shots 5 feet from the basket. Those are converted at about 60%. That's 1.2 points per possession. Threes, open threes, are converted at about 34%. That's 1.02 points per possession. Contested twos. Memphis, when they went to the Final Four, their 2-point field goal percentage was 32%. That's Memphis men, when they went to the Final Four, that was their 2-point field goal percentage outside the lane. 32%, that's 0.64. So when we construct our defense, we're thinking that way. We're thinking we do not want to foul, we do not want to give up a layup, and we do not want to give up a rhythm 3. Okay, so that's how we're going to play. And that's how we're going to work on stuff. Are you guys stretched out and ready to go? Okay, the first thing we're going to do, we'll start in this corner. You guys split up. Some of you go down here, split up into 4 groups. Okay, and we're going to go through what we did. Coach Kirby can kind of take that, and we have our whole staff here. Kevin Devine, stand up. Kevin is a strength coach. If you have any questions about what we're doing in the weight room, Kevin just did an internship at Arizona State for their men and women. He has some great ideas. Christy Smith and Abby Charlo is our recruiting coordinator. And Coach Greg Kirby is our associate head coach. Renee Turpa is on pictures, and she's doing a great job. Okay, what we're doing first is they're going to work on their stance, and they're going super slow, working on technique. So just, you guys can just start. We really work on keeping our head behind our knees. Try to keep our feet apart. I like Kathy Bennett's terminology. Sit tall, slide wide. Our lead hand is usually up, our trail hand is down to protect from the crossover. We're going to do this 3 times. They're just really working on technique. I like it when they start talking when they're running back in line. We are a poor communicating team right now, and that's going to change by the end of the year. The best thing that we're doing right now is you can see their heads are all behind their knees. Their heads are all back. Your head's your heaviest part of your body. So if your head's out in front of your knees, you have no balance. This is not a natural position. Okay, is that it? We try to get them, they got to finish through the circle. We talk to them a lot about not shortcutting. I'm big on watching how is their last two steps. Are they raising up? Are they cheating the drill? That tells you a lot about character. Once you tell them about it, then you can see whether they change or not. Now we're going to go fast. Now we're going to go fast. We're going to try to keep the same technique. We're going to try to go fast. Here we go, 3 times. Here we go, let's go. Ashley's really doing a much better job. If you watched Ashley the last 2 years, she's gotten stronger. She's been able to hold her stance a lot better this year. She does a great job of emphasizing throwing the shoulder, throwing the elbow. Sit down, sit tall. Okay? Now we're going to do just something I picked up from the clinic in Canada that I like. They're going to sit down in the stance and they're going to bounce. They're going to bounce, both feet together. Okay? Let's do that a couple. We'll go 2 times. 2 times. Stay low. Stay low. Stay low.
Good job, ladies.
Keep your head back.
Good go, ladies.
Sit, sit. Your upper body should not be moving like a jack in the box. Good, Laura. Okay. Now, what I'd like to do now, yes? Huh? We're just working on their leg strength. Working on their leg strength, getting used to keeping their feet apart. I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to do as good a technique as possible. What we're trying to get to is that once we actually start playing, we stop seeing all this stuff, where their feet are coming together. All the stuff where your head is out in front of you. We're trying to build as much as we can a habit. And that's what we're really not doing it at a fatigue point right now. We're just trying to get them to do it right for as long as they can. And then we're going to add conditioning later. Let's take 5 of the tennis balls around this arc and let's get 5 people inside the arc. Quickly, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay, everybody on the outside has a tennis ball. Okay? We're using the tennis ball today. Usually we don't act like a tennis ball because that might be construed as a basketball in the NCAA world. But for visual today, we're going to have a tennis ball. First thing we're going to do is we're going to work on our on-ball stance. And how many coaches remember the old Bob Knight defensive handout that he did? Coach Meyer, you probably do. Yeah, what do you have? The devil, and his hands are out like this. It's unbelievable. You know, when you think about that stance, you know, I think if this person has the ball, this is not pressure. That's not pressure. So we try to get one hand around the ball, and I really don't sit there and tell them which one it is. We don't want to give up baseline. She's probably a way too, there you go. Now, and then we start working with them on their cushion. Most kids do not know how close they need to be to apply pressure. Ashley, let's flip-flop you guys. Ashley's notorious for getting too close. Now look at her arms. Put those out there. She has long arms. Ashley's dad played with Kelly Trapuka at Notre Dame. He was a late bloomer. Ashley's a late bloomer. Ashley likes to get too close. So we really work on how far should she be on a closeout, where should you be? And that's just about right. And you got two things working against each other. One, we want to get a hand on top of the ball, which if you're not good at what we just did, your head starts to move forward, and that becomes your stance. You're going to be beat if you do that. So you got to really work at this. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to work on where we should be in relationship to what they're doing with the ball. Now the offense will often give things away. If they dip their head, obviously, they're going to be a driver. You need to get away. We call it popping back. If they get the ball up and put it above their head, we're going to get into them and try to get our hands underneath the ball so they can't bring it down. Okay? If they bring it down, then we got to pop back. Okay? So we're going to do that for about 5 seconds, and then we'll rotate clockwise, and then we'll switch. So let's just watch them go. Ready, down? Go! Hand around the ball. Hand on top of the ball. Keep your head back, Reagan. Okay, rotate clockwise. Everybody on offense stay the same. Ready, down. Go. Okay, rotate, rotate. I like the idea of protecting your feet. What we try to say is we don't want them to ever be in a situation where they can beat you in one step. Right now, if I'm this close, she can get her foot by mine in one step. I want her to take 2 steps to beat me. That needs to be our cushion. Okay? And then take advantage of anything they give away. Ready? Down? Go. Keep your head back, Reagan. Okay, change. Offense to defense. Ready, down.
Down.
Go. Okay, change. Stop. Now let's talk about some things. I can tell freshmen right away. Freshmen look like this when they're on offense. Straight-legged. It's like an act. You can almost predict it's going to happen. They think we're working on defense, so they're standing here straight-legged. This is their motion. That's never going to be like it is in a game. So even though we're working on defense, we're really working on offense and get tight with the ball. Get sharp with your cuts. Have an act on offense. If you always sit there and play the defensive side, like one thing that I watched, we haven't done it yet, so I can't hold them accountable yet. When we were going with Kathy, the offense was doing what? They were playing to the defense yesterday. They weren't punching those gaps hard. Okay, and they don't know yet because we haven't done that. But I want the offense to be real. Okay? And we do a lot of talks. I'm talking to each of our classes week by week. I take the seniors one week, I talk to them as a group. Then the next week I do a meeting with the juniors and sophomore. Because we have Betsy there who's a lone sophomore, so we put her in with the juniors. Then we got the freshmen. And I have those groups starting to define who are they going to be as a class. And what are they going to stand for? But I think it's important that you talk about things like this. How are you going about your offense when you're working on defense? Okay? You should be working on both. Ready, down. Go. Okay, stop. Let's go on. Two people underneath, a person on this wing, person on this wing. You guys have a ball. Get out. Okay? Now, what we're going to do now is we'll do a series of closeouts. And I'd give them different scenarios. I'd say, okay, now we're going to do just like we did. We're going to play it. You're going to play for a second, and then you're going to decide to go 2 dribbles in a direction. Then you're going to pick the ball up, and we're going to have a dead call. So we have to start building our communication. I really like Vance's thing. If I would have done it earlier, I kind of like that thing, that pressure, pressure, pressure. The only thing I don't like about it is 2 syllables, but I do like the fact that you're spitting on somebody. I like that. But we try to, what's important is when you talk about communication, you've got to talk about what makes sense. Now we say ball, when we close out on the ball, we say it 2 times. Coach Kirby, you want to rehearse with them the ball call because you do it very well. Coach Kirby leads them. He ran the individual a couple weeks ago. He was trying to get them to understand how they were to yell ball. Okay?
That's how we normally say ball. Go ball. Instead we want to go ball, ball. I guarantee you they will not do that. Play.
Ball, ball!
It's the only one of them.
Ready?
Ready? Go.
Okay, so we have to hear that twice. Now what I don't like is it doesn't make sense to be doing ball, 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 ball. Because if you're off the ball, we have a verbal for that too. And I don't know how you could be hearing what's around you, like Chauncey Billups, great instructions. He was at some workout and he goes, possible ball screen left. You talk about detailed instructions. Possible ball screen left. Well, I'm trying to think, screen left, could I hear that if I'm going, ball, 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 ball? That gets too confusing to me. So we have 2 verbals, ball, ball. So we got to see a closeout. We're going to play with the ball for a while, and then we're going to go 2 dribbles, and you're going to pick it up, and then we have our second verbal, which will be dead, 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 and that's different because you're striking fear in the person. They need to get their hands together, and then at any point where they pivot, we are going to capture that foot and not give it back. So example, if it's a dead call and I get her to reverse pivot. Right like that. We're going to get into her with our lower body and not let her have that side of the floor back. Okay? That's what we should be doing. Okay? We're going to go down, go. You just rotate, new groups coming on. You guys are lucky you get to be on offense all the time. Ready? Down. Go. Change. Here we go. Now, when you close out, it's a normal closeout, so it should be, what I'd rather you do, and this is something, play like the ball's on top. Sometimes we close out from positions that never happen in a game. We have a lot of closeouts like this. So I'd rather practice like we're going to close out in a game, which usually it's going to be one step and it's going to be, we teach on the closeout, palms to the ceiling, throw your hands up. You throw your hands up, and sometimes we get more detailed in just having them do like the wave. But we want palms to the ceiling because the only way you can have bent knees is to have bent wrist. You don't have, if you have straight hands, you're going to tend to have straight knees. Okay, ready, down? Go. Too close. Okay, change. Now, you got the last one, they close out, Stephanie closed out too long. Okay, close out short, creep in, and then when they take that first dribble, I'm looking to see, when she takes that dribble, attack the rim. I want to see if they're getting back as they're sliding. Okay? They should be absorbing that first dribble by popping back a little bit. Okay? Ready, down. Go. Good, change, ready, go. Down. Go. Good, change. Okay, now we have long closeout. She's a dead three. Long closeout, pop back. Ready, down. Go. Go again. Skylar, you got to get back. Yep, that's exactly right. Kelly's doing a good job instructing. Kelly's a senior, you can tell, senior and freshman. Okay, lots on your plate. It seems like it's easy, but it's not easy. That's why we spend time doing this. Okay, and this is important. Okay, your ball pressure is so important. Absorbing that first dribble is so important. Ready, down. Go. Okay, rotate. Here we go. New offense. Ready, down. Go. Okay, change. Now we're going to go short closeout. 2 dribbles baseline. Take a charge. Ready, down. Go. Good. Here we go. Let's go. Ready, down. Go. Don't put your hands back. Tuck your chin to your shoulder. Tuck your chin to your chest. Here we go. Ready, down. You can go either way. Offense. Ready, down. Go. They got to get used to taking charges. So we're going to rehearse it. I mean, if you don't rehearse taking charges, it will never happen. Okay, so we're going to work on that. Then we're going to say, okay, we're going to shoot the ball. Now we're going to get a box out. Ready, down, go. Don't wrap. Ready, change, new offense. Here we go. Ready, down. Now see, this is a freshman, and I like what she just did. You know, she's had 3 weeks of working hard, and she's starting to act like a sophomore because we just changed something there, and she sprinted out. So there was no leg time. Like, I'm looking at all that stuff. I think all that stuff is critical to who you want on the floor when it gets gut check time. Because she's ready to go. She didn't meander out there. I don't know whether you would have meandered out there 3 weeks ago, but you're more clued in right now. Ready, down. Go. Good. Don't wrap. Don't wrap. On the box out. On the box out. I don't really get, let's say she's going this way after she shoots the ball. Now, I could pass, and she goes whatever direction. I like to tag and go pursue the rim. Pursue the ball. Okay, we're wrapping a little bit. Ready, down. Go. Good. Okay, now next thing. Let's do some other things. Let's get on this baseline right here. One line right there. Now we're progressing to something else. Now we're going to start working on our technique of push stepping back. So let's face that way. And we're going 2 steps down, 1 step back. When you go back, pop back a little bit. Okay, ready? Just go to half court. Here we go, let's go. That's very good technique. Okay, now just go back so you're working on your other foot. Lower and quicker to the ground. You're kind of going up and down. Don't be low and quick to the ground. I really like your style, Kelly. Kelly Peller, very good technique. Trying to keep their feet wide. Trying to learn how to pop back a little bit on that back. Very good. Very nice job. If you guys are out, you guys should be clapping for them. Here we go. Let's go. Pop straight back. Don't open up. Keep your head still. Your head should be looking straight ahead. Okay, now we're going to do, we can do all kinds of things out of this. Now we're going to go 2 steps, slide 2, run 2, slide 2. Now we're working on transitioning from sliding to running, keeping their head down. Just go to half court. Ready? Go. Okay, now let's get in this corner right here facing me. Now we're going to do the same thing. That's easier than this. That's kind of the build-up. Now we're going to slide at an angle. We're going to slide 2, back 1, slide 2, sprint 2. I like to give them all kinds of things. I learned this from Knight because I went to one of his practices once at the beginning of the year, and what I like to do is I like to just mess with to see if they're listening. So I said slide 2, back 1, slide 2, run 2, and then repeat. Okay? Yeah. Now, Knight was doing this. He was going 4 on 4 on 4. He had two color shirts. Whenever they changed ends, they had to change the shirt over when he, and then it was early in the year. And I asked somebody, does he do this every year? He goes, yeah, he does it every year to get the freshmen. So pretty soon, some freshman forgets to change a shirt, so you have 5 reds, 3 whites, and all of a sudden he's sitting there chewing the kid out and saying, how do you expect play for me, you can't even change your shirt over. So he gets them on something simple because there's so many little things to manage. So right now, when I say an instruction like that, they should echo it. And I'm checking to see who's echoing it, who's not. Because we need better leadership on this team. Okay? Here we go. Good. Good work, Gina. Okay, let's jog down here. Everybody get a partner and a tennis ball. We'll show the last thing, quick. Somebody your own spade and a tennis ball. Okay, we'll start underneath the basket, right here. This is my all-time favorite drill when we can't have a ball. Okay? This is my all-time favorite drill when you can't have a ball, okay? So here's what's going to happen. We're working on offense and defense at the same time, so she has to be tight with the ball. Offense is going to push step, 2 steps. Push step. Then you're going to pause. Now, Kelly has to have her hand on top of the ball. Okay? Then she is going to pick a direction to run. And Kelly has to get there, and once she gets her nose on her outside shoulder, the offense has to break down, and now we're push-stepping again and repeating the process. The offense can go any direction. Okay? Let's start doing that. Here we go. Full speed. Here we go. Get there, get there, get there. Good. 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 Get your hand on top of the ball. Hand on top. Head back. Get there. Get there. Quicker. Quicker. Okay, going back. And we need to explode out of that stance. Sometimes you got to pop back a little bit to absorb them. Try to get it cut off quicker. Get there. Good, Ashley. Watch your stomach. Watch your stomach. Good. Head back, head back. Good. Good, Laura. Good, Laura. Get there. Good, Laura. Nice job. I like your concentration. Stop. Stop. You guys stop. You guys aren't getting any better. You guys go back to the beginning. Do it again. Mediocre. Get there, Sylvia. Get there, Skylar. Run in a line to the rim. Start running more to the rim, Laura. Okay, give them a round of applause. I thought that was good. Okay, you guys can relax. Okay, I like that drill because I think it's harder than a game, and you can really work on absorbing that first few steps. So that's basically our first 3 weeks. That's what we were doing in our 30-minute individuals, just really working on being able to slide, get used to the stance. I don't think it's that complicated. It's pretty simplistic. Coach James, real good. I consider Coach James one of the very best. I like going down there and I have to go down there and have a clear mind, and then I got to be ready to interpret upside down drawings because he draws the court opposite, and then I have to already have 2 Tylenol in my system because he's going to give me so much my head starts to hurt. But he was telling me his daughter was dating a guy from the San Antonio Spurs, and he was talking about how the San Antonio worked on shooting, and they hired a guy, shooting coach, to fly in and basically watch him shoot stationary for 2 to 3 hours a day and make sure he didn't play pickup games so he could just work on his stroke. They put him in a nice hotel, didn't they? Okay, and he was telling me the best thing about it was his high school guys got to see that and realize that all the stuff he does with shooting that they think is boring was actually what they paid big bucks in the pros to have somebody learn how to shoot. And, I think there's no secrets to a lot of this stuff. I think simplistic is better. I think learning how to choose your words wisely, say more with less words is huge. I'm going to leave you with a story on wisdom. I started coaching at 19. I had an opportunity. They couldn't find a women's coach. So Gene Habecker gave me a chance. He was the youngest president at Huntington College. He said, I'm 32 years old. I'm the youngest president in the nation. We can't find anybody to take this job. And it's now September. You were the student assistant last year, so you're going to be the youngest coach in the nation. Okay, so I started coaching I was thrown into it. I coached the women for a couple of years, and I coached the men for 4 years. And I took my first education class, and it was on bulletin boards, constructing bulletin boards. I mean, that's what we did for the first 3 weeks. I wasn't very artistic. In fact, when I got into college coaching, and we were recruiting at the Division I level, the first years, you could talk to the AAU coaches afterwards, and you had to write notes to every kid you liked. Well, I'm looking at these female assistants in front of me. They're drawing pictures on these notes, and I'm thinking, I am not artistic. We aren't going to get anybody. Okay, so I have a fear of anything artistic like that. So, to get back to my point, I didn't like the education thing, so I said, well, I'll just get a business degree, which is not really smart, but I knew I wanted to be at college because I had been given an opportunity. And I said, well, how can you supplement yourself at a small college? And they said, well, we don't have anybody in the business area, so go get your MBA, because nobody will work for $15,000 with an MBA in education. Well, I became somebody that had an MBA, taught business for $15,000 so I could coach basketball. So I have this MBA. I'm 22 years old. I go to my first faculty meeting. Okay? And my speech teacher was a guy named Carl Zerker at Huntington. He was a faculty marshal. Best teacher I've ever had. So we're at this faculty meeting, and I'm sitting deep corner, really away from it because I am intimidated. And I'm listening to this argument, and these faculty are discussing, I can't even remember what they were discussing, but the nature of the argument was, we've always done it this way, so we should do it again this way. That was the nature of the argument. And everybody was just jumping up, not asking